Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for April 19th. April 19th is the 109th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 110th in leap years, with 256 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is hip. The word hip has quite a few meanings, and we're going to look at as many as I can find today. Hip can be a noun or an adjective, and I've seen it used as a verb. As a noun, hip is that part of the body where the pelvis and the thigh join, that part of a roof junction where two sides of the roof form an external angle. That's also called a hip. In either of these instances, hip comes to us from Old English, Proto-Germanic before that, with the first known use in the 1100s. You see the hip is that red line there where it says hip rafter. That's the hip of the roof. Another noun use of the word hip is the name of a seed pod, especially a bulbous, fleshy one, like rose hips. The word hip in this definition first appears in about the 1500s. As an adjective, hip has quite a few definitions and uses. It can mean informed and appears to have evolved from the word hep, a word with several origin stories, but all having to do with understanding something, being informed, or having figured something out. I particularly like the definition of hip of having information typically not available to others. I couldn't find anything about exactly where these came from, but first known use of the word hep and hip in this context is in the early 1900s. Hip as an adjective might also mean trendy, cool, fashionable, or in style, or marked by a characteristic deemed as being impressive with regards to fashion, or the state or condition of being liked, admired, or supported by many people. Hip might also mean watchful, especially for danger or disorder, alert or vigilant. Hip might be used to describe someone who's at the forefront of new and experimental ideas, styles, and methods, innovative, groundbreaking, or original. Definitions of hip go on and on like this, usually originating from or having to do with knowing things that maybe everybody else might not be aware of. I mentioned that hip might also be used as a verb too, right? This use also has to do with special knowledge, as in to impart information or knowledge, to enlighten, inform, or disclose, as in, I haven't had any trouble with it since he hipped me to the quirks of the system. As I mentioned earlier, hip means to be a variant of hep, and most of these definitions have evolved throughout the 1900s, particularly gaining popularity mid-century. Hip. Today's word hip was requested by YouTube viewer D. Dally at ddally8851. Thanks, D. Dally. This one was fun to research. And if you have a word you'd like us to examine in this Word of the Day segment, drop it in the comments. We'll take a look at it. And with that, not too long ago, we mentioned American singer-songwriter Bobby Russell in relation to a couple of songs he wrote that hit big on the charts. Well, this is his birthday. Bobby Russell was born on April 19, 1941 in Nashville, Tennessee. I'd say he's best known as a songwriter. He wrote such songs as The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia, Little Green Apples, and Honey, all of which were big hits for the artists who released them. He wrote across several genres, never a bad thing to do. Sadly, he developed coronary artery disease and passed away at the age of 52. Bobby Russell. The Simpsons first appeared as a series of shorts on The Tracy Ullman Show, first starting with Good Night on April 19, 1987. Later on, the sketch was developed into a half-hour primetime show. The Simpsons, created by Matt Groening, are a satirical depiction of American life, starring Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie Simpson, and set in a fictional town called Springfield. Groening named the characters after his own family members, substituting Bart for his own name. The Simpsons have aired some 764 episodes and is the longest-running American animated series, longest-running American sitcom, and the longest-running American scripted primetime television series, both in seasons and individual episodes. In addition, there's a movie, comic book series, video games, books, and other merchandising featuring The Simpsons, and they're currently in their 35th season of production. The Simpsons. Now, in previous episodes for April 19th, I've talked about the disastrous culmination of the siege of the Branch Davidian compound in Waco, Texas, and the subsequent retaliative bombing of the Alfred P. Murrah building in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And if you want to see how I covered those, along with anything else that I might have talked about for April 19th, I'll leave a link for you. Today's song is Saturday Morning Confusion by Bobby Russell. Released in 1971, this is a relatable song from the point of view of a father of a busy household who just wishes he could sleep in on Saturday morning. The song did well on the charts, reaching the top 25. Saturday Morning Confusion by Bobby Russell. Link in the description. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page that's called No Really. You can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. This is the birthday.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
I wasn't talking to you. And from the Life is What Happens When You Make Other Plans department, more than on... Did you really? Okay, hold on. I forgot to tell it do not disturb. Okay, we're going to do that one again. Oh, where's your microphone? Oh, get your microphone. What is it with you and this microphone? Okay, here we go. You're here with me live this morning as I stumble through. I thought I was ready to go, and my apologies for the hiccups and the baubles. See, that's all stuff that gets edited out in the edited versions. We'll have a lot to edit today. Cacophony is a sound. Cacophony is a noun that you got to read it the right way. Don't alienate people who can be helpful to you. Flinging happiness all over the place. Alrighty, back to work. I think we got it this time.